Most haunted places in Wales. Sker House, located in Porthcawl. A 12th century mansion with a reputation as one of the most haunted places in Wales. It was originally built to function as a grange to support the monks of Neath Abbey, but the dissolution of the monasteries saw it fall into private hands. During Queen Elizabeth I's reign, the mansion's then owners, the Turbervilles, remained loyal to the old religion, going as far as providing a refuge for the Jesuit priests. Clandestine masses were also being held there. In 1678, a Jesuit priest named Father Philip Evans was arrested at Sker House. He was held at trial in Cardiff before being hung, drawn and quartered. Charles Turberville, owner of the mansion, feared for his own persecution, sold the house and apparently moved abroad. The most famous story of Sker House is that of Isaac Williams and his daughter Elizabeth. It is believed in the 17th century Isaac accommodated the house with his two daughters Mary and Elizabeth. The two sisters often went to Kenfig's town hall to dance, and it is here Elizabeth fell in love with Thomas Evans. Elizabeth's father was furious when he found out she was associating herself with a mere carpenter. Isaac believed Thomas wasn't good enough for his daughter. Even though their love was forbidden, the couple continued to meet secretly and even planned to elope. One particular night, Thomas hired a coach and horse in order to make their escape. But on approaching Elizabeth's house, the guard dogs made so much noise, Thomas was scared off and left without his beloved. Of course, Isaac was woken and he found out about his daughter's plan to elope. Angered by his daughter's betrayal, he locked her in a room, barricading all windows so she was unable to leave the house. Eventually, in 1701, though still madly in love with Thomas, Isaac forced Elizabeth to marry a Mr. Sker House. Stuck in a loveless union, Elizabeth would sneak out of the house she shared with her husband to see Thomas perform on the harp. She died 9 years after her marriage. It is said of a broken heart. A Victorian novel was based on the story called The Maid of Sker. Another spirit said to walk the grounds is that of a ship's captain who lost control of his ship at a nearby Sker Point and was then plundered. Isaac was one of the accused of the theft, but claimed he had just taken some of the items back to the Sker House for safekeeping, but shortly after, some of the items went missing, even though he claimed they were under guard. Some believe the captain of the ship returns trying to find his lost cargo. Over its 800-year-old history, the Sker House has seen so much violence and bloodshed, it isn't surprising some of that has clung to the fabric of the building itself. In 2002, a BBC camera crew filming some major restoration work heard a high-pitched noise emanating from the Great Hall, and despite of all efforts to trace the source, none could be found. Unable to continue filming, the crew packed up and left. People have said they felt unease and dread upon entering the Sker House, with some feeling physically sick. Witnesses have reported high-pitched screeching sounds, screaming and wailing cries. People have also seen dark shadows and figures, more so in the room Elizabeth was held prisoner. There has even been reports of an evil presence that does not want people in the house. Many have left the house just after entering out of complete fear.